Good afternoon. I am Tina Service, President and owner of Made for Time House Cleaning Service in Rochester, New York. Being in the cleaning business for over 10 years, there are some pretty cool tricks that I've learned. I thought I would share some of my favorites with you, and if you have any cleaning tips that you would like to share with us, we would love to hear about them. You can leave some comments in the comment section below, or please feel free to reach out to me or send me an email. So one of my most favorites is using a dryer sheet. So the dryer sheet has some pretty cool things that it can do. So for a casserole dish, if you've cooked a casserole and you got some dried on, baked on stuff in there, what you can do is simply add a dryer sheet to your dish, your casserole dish, fill it up with water, let it sit overnight. What happens overnight is that fabric softener sheet is going to loosen up all of the items that is in that casserole dish for you. And instead of spending all your time scrubbing that dish and trying to get it clean and breaking your beautiful fingernails, that fabric softener sheet is going to loosen everything up. And then the next day you're just going to wipe it out and it's going to be good to go. The only thing that I would say is make sure that you fill up the casserole dish all the way so that it is covering any of your burnt on, stuck on stuff. Otherwise, that's still going to be really hard to get off. And the other item that I would say to you is make sure that you give it a really good clean once you have that fabric softener out of there. I have baked a dish afterwards, even though I thought it was pretty clean. I could still taste the fabric softener sheet. So that's one thing I would say is just make sure you clean it up really good. The other really cool tip that I like for fabric softener is if you get the liquid kind and you live in a home that you're trying to get rid of some wallpaper, maybe some stuck on stuff that's on your wall, like from those stickers that you can put on your wall. Take a bowl and fill it up with some water. Put about a quarter cup of fabric softener into that bowl of water. Get a regular household sponge, wet the sponge down, and then you can start to wipe down the wallpaper with the sponge. Couple words of caution for that is don't over soak the wallpaper, because if it gets too over soaked, then the background of it, that glue is going to come unstuck. But when you go to use a putty knife to scrape off the wallpaper, what's going to happen is you're going to start to gouge that drywall behind there. If you have drywall behind there and you do end up gouging it, you can certainly use drywall mud to patch that up, but it certainly would be easier if you didn't. And for any wallpaper that doesn't come unstuck, I just use a low grit sandpaper just to kind of get the rest of it off, not to scratch the drywall so that I have to remud again. The other item that I really like to use is the magic sponge. So anyhow, that material is used by all the different manufacturers that are out there, so they're all the same. So I would say to you, you can certainly buy an off-brand, although you don't have to. We use the off-brand here in the office and in our cleaning company primarily because we go through so many in the house cleaning industry. So one of my favorite uses for the magic sponge is to remove soap scum from shower and tub walls. Ideally, what I like to do is wet the sponge down, and then I spray on our tub and tile cleaner, and then I use that to scrub down the glass doors, the chrome on the doors, and it really does a nice job in shining everything up. And then you can get a microfiber towel and just wipe that down when you're done. Couple words of caution with that is the magic sponge is actually just a very, very fine sandpaper material, so you can still scratch items. So I would say if you're unsure of how this is going to react to your particular, your countertop or your fiberglass tub or anything like that, then I would say to you, test it out in a small area first. Just make sure that it's not going to scratch that area. All right, well, I hope you liked these little cleaning tips that I provided for you today. And as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. You can contact us at 585-205-2446. Thanks.